Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender on Ron's video. I'm not sure if we can hear it. Okay, I'm old and I can barely hear it, but we did try and get the Marine Corps hymn in there. ToniJean Munoz, how are you?
I'm good, Ron. How are you?
I am doing great. Hey, let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number out on your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. I just love doing some celebrations, and let's see. I think we got some background noise here. I could tell that Josh is trying to be politically correct here. Today's National Housewives Day, so I'm not even going to go there because it can only get me in trouble. Even though my bride doesn't listen to the show, so I'm okay. National Broadcast Traffic Professionals Day. I don't even know what that one is. Okay, so having beaten anorexia, I think we're just going to go with National Sandwich Day. And I will say, that doesn't look like it at all, but mine is my go-to. That depends on what we're looking at. If I have the opportunity, and if you have the opportunity, you would be very, very wise. The best sandwich I think you're going to ever find, in my opinion, and I'm right, Hickory and Spice in the city of Orange. They make the best barbecue anywhere I've ever been, and I've traveled around the world. Best barbecue air. Now, every other Saturday, they make pastrami. And the opposite week, on Sunday, they make beef ribs. Pastrami takes them about 3 weeks to make the pastrami with the seasonings, and it's amazing. So if you ever want a great sandwich, Hickory and Spice, every other Saturday. I think it's coming up this coming Saturday because yesterday was beef ribs. So I'm assuming this Saturday will be pastrami. So if you want to go and get a tremendous sandwich, and I topped out at 425 pounds, so I understand food. I'm down right now from my all-time high, about 160. So, I'm on this new journey. So I'm at 98, kind of plateaued right there. But I'm going to get to 100 before Thanksgiving, or else it's a fast for me and not a feast. So it's just the way it is. Now, if I'm not around Hickory and Spice on the proper day, Jersey Mike's, number 13, please. Rosemary bread, add some pepperoncinis. Good stuff. But I digress. This is a home and finance radio show, so we better not talk about food all day. Let's see what the markets are doing right now. We're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average is now down 159 points. The S&P 500 is up 0.21, so that's flat. And the NASDAQ is, I'm sorry, let me get back to this again. The Dow Jones is down 158 points. The NASDAQ is up 150, and the S&P 500 is up 20. Oil is up 19 cents a barrel. Now, 19 cents a barrel, yes, we are in the formerly golden state. Now, with under Gavin Newsom's leadership, this is just the brown state, burning, high prices, all the other good stuff that we don't like to talk about in California. Gas prices here are going up. Everywhere else in the country, they're going down. So we are at $4.66 a gallon. Yesterday, $4.65 a gallon. And we're going the wrong way. $3.04 is the national average for a gallon of gasoline. $3.04. Even most of the high-priced gas states in the country are all well under $4 a gallon. The high-tax states, okay, so we've got Hawaii at $4.48, what's about 20 cents below California. Washington at $4.28. They're about 40 cents below California. Oregon, $3.88. Even Idaho is one of the higher priced gas states in the country at $3.35 a gallon. And Josh, you're probably what, $3.75, $3.70, give or take? So Nevada is one of the higher priced states as well. And there, I wonder if it's contagious, Josh, because all of the high priced states are on the West Coast or Hawaii, Alaska. Plus Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is one of the higher priced states at $3.21 a gallon. $1.50 cheaper than we are here in the formerly golden state. So even though gas prices are coming down, they're not in Newsom's California. The 10-year Treasury is up 4 basis points, 4.12, and the mortgage bond is up down 16 basis points. Down 16. Remember, when the bond goes down, rates go up. Ow! And yes, I did hear all the stories over the weekend and late last week now. I got caught having to go to a continuing education class on Thursday, so we weren't here while I was doing my continuing education. For those people that said, well, the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates, so did my interest rate go down? No, the Federal Reserve doesn't control interest rates. In fact, Jerome Powell hurt interest rates in his commentary after the announcement. So at 11 o'clock our time, we get the Fed's announcement of rates. At 11:30 our time, then Jerome Powell goes into about a 1-hour press conference where he allows for questions. And he made a comment, and it kind of ties in with what I've been telling you for many, many years. We started doing the radio broadcast in 2010. The Federal Reserve does not control long-term rates. They control the Fed funds rate, which is the overnight borrowing rate that the Fed will lend money to member banks at. Now, anything that you might have heard about interest rates is already built into the interest rate you see today. We don't wait to hear what the Federal Reserve has to say. The markets are forward-looking. So the market knew that we were going to get a 25 basis point cut. That's 0.25%. And the market believed that in December, we'd get another 0.25%. That was already built into pricing before the meeting was, the announcement even came out. What did Powell say that killed the market? Well, he basically said that the December rate cut is not a foregone conclusion. And he said, far from it, is the way he termed it. Well, the market just took a nosedive when that happened. And we saw that the 30-year mortgage bond went down on Wednesday. I think it was about 50 basis points, 0.5%. That means mortgage rates went up. The 10-year Treasury was trading below $4. Now it's at like $4. Now it's at 4.12. So Powell came out, and his comments were exactly what the market did not want to hear. So all that was priced in had to be priced out. And when they price that out, you go the other way and you see the markets take a turn for the worse. Now, I did throw this out in some groups that I was chatting with, is right about now, we've got Fed member Daly is giving a speech at 11 o'clock. Cook is giving a speech. We've got, there might be a couple more coming up. I'm just trying to look at the reports this week and not getting a whole, on Thursday, we've got a whole bunch of them talking. Now, if they come out and contradict what Powell said, we might see some benefits. Who knows? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. As we look ahead to next week, the big news of next week, no matter what anybody wants to tell you, the big news of next week is going to be, it's Veterans Day, right? And we're going to talk to ToniJean about Veterans Day and what she's doing for Veterans Day, because you can probably imagine that they've got a lot going on for Veterans Day, being the name of the company is Veterans Air Mechanical. So we'll talk to her about that. Thought the market passed you by. Think again. How to make sure your sale crosses the finish line. And if your family can't find your will in 60 seconds, you're about to leave them a nightmare instead of an inheritance. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They tell us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to figure out what your principal and interest payment will be. And if you don't have a mortgage calculator, shame on you. But we've got one available for you. That's available right there at rsrlinks.com/mobile app. What did rates do on Friday? Yeah, that's the latest data that we have from our friends at OBMMI. And we take a look at that if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials with ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 video feed. So here's the issue. I've shared this over and over and over and over again. Anytime you see anything that happens in the markets will always, always, always overreact. So when I tell you that on Wednesday, the Fed took a big jump, or I'm sorry, the Fed's action caused the mortgage rates and 10-year treasury rate, not bond rates on both, to go up, it overreacted. So we started seeing that change. And on Friday, conventional 30-year fixed down 6.156, jumbo 30-year fixed down 6.358, FHA 30-year fixed down 6.043, VA 30-year fixed, my favorite loan, 5.67. That was down. And the USDA 30-year fixed down 6.064. Now, just remember those numbers, because on my handy dandy computer right here, I can look back and see that on the 11th, on October, why am I not seeing what I want to see? There it is over there. Okay, on October 28th, October 30th, we saw the bond at 6.19, or the 30-year rate at 6.19. So it's been coming down since then. Do you want our thoughts on the market? I know you do. And we give it to you each and every business day as early as the data allows. You can go to the Ron Siegel Radio community. It's free to you. Where do you get the community at? rsrlinks.com/HBOD. rsrlinks.com/HBOD. We publish a real brief article each day and put it in there for your reading and viewing pleasure, so you can actually see what's going on in the markets. Now, as we look at that, we try and figure out, okay, where are the markets today? Well, we've got the S&P 500 is up 19.71. We've got the 10-year Treasury is up 4 basis points, 4.117. And the mortgage bond is still down 19 basis points, 99.38 on the 5.0 coupon. Why is this happening? Well, we've got a lot of stuff going on, not the least of which we've got elections tomorrow. We've got the communist running in New York to be their mayor, anti-Semite as well. I mean, it's his own comments, so I'm not saying anything that he doesn't say. We've got the Prop 50 here in California, which looks like it's to take more power away from the people, just the way it is. So we'll see what happens there. It's not going to change Congress like Gavin Newsom's telling everybody, because there are 10 southern states that are going to add 15 Republican seats if California passes Prop 50. Just throw that out there for you. We're day 34 of the government shutdown, and once it extends to tomorrow, it'll be the longest on record. Unfortunately, it seems a new record will be reached. There are some that believe the elections in some states tomorrow could be a catalyst, but the impact of the shutdown is starting to get serious and ugly. SNAP benefits, which include things like food stamps, expired on October 31st. That means 1 out of every 8 Americans can no longer access food, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent does sound optimistic and said it could be funded as early as Wednesday. Air traffic controllers will get a notification on Friday that their next paycheck will be zero. The delays and cancellations are already starting to significantly increase, and it's also dangerous. One cannot fault ATC workers who have bills to pay and may need to call out to drive Uber or do something else. Bottom line, we hope it gets resolved. And as I heard over the weekend, Senator Fetterman made a comment that the government workers that are not getting paid, it's going to cost them personally about $500 million in interest expense just to go and borrow money to keep afloat. $500 million. Now, when they get their back pay, they don't get interest on that. So not good there. This is supposed to be Jobs Week, which generally has a big impact on the markets. But with the government shutdown, we don't know if we're going to get any jobs report. If it's still shut down, we won't. If they reopen, who knows how much of it's already done. But we do have the ADP employment report that will be coming out this week. The market is expecting a paltry 24,000 jobs to have been created in October, but other sources are showing continued weakness in the labor market. Macro Edge's October reading of announced job cuts hit a 25-month high in October. These are announced, so they may not have taken place yet, but shows what is to come. And we still have to deal with Jay Powell, who thinks that the labor market is not a problem.
Such an idiot.
Yeah. Additionally, Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Acts, WARN notifications, which protects workers, their families, and communities by requiring employers with 100 or more employees to provide at least 60 days, calendar days notice written of plant closing or mass layoffs affecting 50 or more employees at a single site of employment, just reached levels not seen since 2009. The rolling 6-month tally of WARN notices increased to 202,616 in October, the highest since September 2009. Previous times WARN notices have reached these levels, it has preceded a recession. Lastly, job placement stocks are down 20% from June, while the overall S&P 500 is up 17%. Even the equal-weighted S&P 500 is up 7 to 8% from that time, showing that on a relative basis, job placement stocks performing very poorly, likely due to weakness in the labor market. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. So today we are very, very fortunate because as we start our way into our honoring of veterans, which I guess I shouldn't say that, because I kind of think you have to honor veterans every day, every week. So, when we talk about November 11th being Veterans Day, I guess we just get to take the day off to honor veterans, but we should be honoring them every day. And we've got ToniJean Munoz here, and I think you might agree, huh, ToniJean?
Absolutely, every single day.
Yeah, so I can barely hear it.
I hear it.
You hear it. Okay, so it's my old age. It's probably where the problem is. So we got the Marine Corps hymn going. Tony, I know that you do a lot of stuff for veterans. Anything special coming up this year?
Yes, of course. So every year we do our annual Veterans Day event, and we do it a few days before Veterans Day event. And this year it's going to be Saturday, November 8th. And it's coming up this Saturday. And this is our 5th year. Remember, Ron, you were at our first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear it's grown a lot.
Oh my God, it's grown so much, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. So yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the event.
Oh, okay. So our event, what I call our event is, it's not your thank you for your service, sit down dinner. It really isn't. It's very interactive with all our veterans, a lot of camaraderie between all the veterans, and they're very involved in the event itself. We do everything from, the Pledge of Allegiance, National Anthem, the POW, MIA. We have the swing dolls that come in and do live entertainment. We have Taps Live. We have roll call, where we don't do honorary guest speakers. Every single veteran that attends our event, they all get to talk. And that's the best part about our event.
Wow.
And Ron, you mentioned Hickory and Spice. They're actually catering the food to our event.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so I'll have to come by and say hi to Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a great job, and I know that he does a lot of very, very philanthropic. So he's an amazing individual as well. But let's talk about Veteran Air Mechanical also, because you guys are out there doing a great job in the community. I know it's not overly hot right now. Is this a good time to go get your air conditioning heating unit serviced?
Well, the heating now we're getting the calls for the furnace. It's time to turn on your furnaces to get those going, and making sure that those are working properly for the winter time. So
this is California, Tony. We don't get winter in California.
I know, right?
I mean, yeah, it's winter time, so it might get down to 65.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, still good time.
What should I be doing to maintain my furnace and keep it running properly?
Well, first you want to make sure you're getting the proper tune-ups on it. But what I always tell people, for you to do it yourself, just make sure you're replacing your filters when they're supposed to be replaced. A dirty filter can do a really good number on your unit if it's a very dirty filter. So it's the easiest things that you can do yourself. And that's, you want to make sure you're changing out your filters at least 1 to 3 months, depending on the usage of your unit. And if you have indoor pets, you definitely want to check on your filters to make sure that they're clean.
Okay, then I learned from you. Now, if your thermostat has batteries.
Yes, that's the most simplest one. So a lot of the thermostats are battery operated, and people give us a call and say, my AC won't turn on. And the first thing I ask them is if you have if you have a thermostat that has batteries in it. And lots of times they don't know. And I said, just pop it out and see. And they go, oh yeah, there's batteries. I've never changed them out. And I said, change your batteries. And sure enough, it was just your thermostat needing new batteries. Easy stuff.
And you know something, what I mean, I've had so many great comments about the services that you guys provide.
Thank you.
But I always love the idea that you're not out there just trying to get to build up a sale, which I know that there are some companies that are doing that. And when I hear you talking about it, go change the filters and check the batteries before I even send a service tech.
Absolutely.
You know, it would be pretty simple for you to get a service call just by going, and then, you know, the technician has to spend 20 minutes or a half hour to make it look good because they changed the batteries in the filter.
Yeah, and I always push for that. Some people don't want to do that. You just say, well, come on, just come over here and just, can you just do it? I don't know what I'm doing. I'd say, can you just do those simple things? I'm going to charge you $99, or you can go get batteries for $10. What do you want to do? And then they think
That's
about
your choice,
it like
right?
that. Yeah.
I guess you have a fan on our YouTube channel as well. So I agree. Veterinary Mechanical is the best. Okay, so we're going to continue our conversation, learning more and more about Veterinary Mechanical, about their event, and about, maybe we'll even talk about how they got the name and why I played the Marine Corps hymn before we started our conversation. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Thought the market passed you by? Think again. If you step back from your home search over the past few years, you're not alone. And you're definitely not out of options. In fact, now might be the ideal time to take another look. With more homes to choose from, prices leveling off in many areas, and mortgage rates easing, today's market is offering something you haven't had in a while. Options. Experts agree buyers are in better spot right now than they've been in quite a long while. And now here's what they have to say. Affordability is finally improving. Lisa Sturdivant, chief economist at Bright MLS, says affordability is finally starting to turn the corner. Quote, slower price growth coupled with a slight drop in mortgage rates will improve affordability and create a window for some buyers to get into the market, unquote. Mortgage rates have eased from their recent highs. Price growth has slowed, and that 1-2 combo is making homes more affordable than they've been in months. There are more homes on the market, and a big reason prices are easing is because there are more homes on the market. According to the latest from Realtor.com, there are 17% more homes for sale today than there were at this time last year. That means more options, less competition with other buyers, and a chance to find the space that actually works for you. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at National Association of Realtors, NAR, shares, quote, home buyers are in the best position in more than 5 years to find the right home and negotiate for a better price. Current inventory is at its highest since May 2020 during the COVID lockdown, unquote. Take a look at the numbers. As Yoon notes, inventory is up everywhere compared to this time last year. Every region of the country has more homes on the market than at this time last year. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart that shows West Coast up 21.1%. That translates into more homes to choose from, whether you're looking for a bigger backyard, a shorter commute, or finally ditching your rental. But not all markets are the same. When you compare current inventory growth to pre-pandemic norms, 2017 to 19, the picture changes a bit depending on where you are. And again, you can check out the graph, and it's got all the different regions on there again. The green bar shows where inventory has fully recovered and even grown above pre-pandemic levels in the South and the West. Supply, however, is still tighter in the Northeast and Midwest, as shown in the red bars, where inventory is still below normal. And here's why that's still a win everywhere. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, with inventory up in every region, that means more choices everywhere, even if some areas have more homes for sale than others. And with fewer buyers in the market and more homes for sale, sellers are willing to negotiate to get a deal done. All that adds up to a win for today's buyers, and it's also why working with a local expert really makes a difference. What's happening in your zip code or neighborhood might look different than the national or regional trend, but the overall takeaway is clear. With more homes on the market, buyers have more leverage than they did a year ago. And if you want to know what's available in your neighborhood, in your zip code, of course, we've got it for you, and we give it to you for free. rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. You can get that available for free. So if you stepped away from your search because things felt too competitive, too pricey, and you're worried about finding a home or it was just too much to process, this could be your moment to take another look. And yes, you can go and take a look at how we did just about a month ago. We showed a family how to get a 4.99% 30-year fixed rate loan by understanding the proper way to negotiate on that new home purchase. rsrlinks.com/buydown. rsrlinks.com/buydown. I don't know if you're going to qualify for it, but it might still be available to you as well. Bottom line, want to know what's happening in our area? Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's have a conversation so you can get a custom overview of what's available right now, learn how to be ready when the timing is right for you. That would be Key Steps, rsrlinks.com/key steps, because this isn't 2021. This isn't even 2023 or 2024. But this is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. We are continuing our conversation. We're talking this morning. ToniJean Munoz is with us, Veterans Air Mechanical. And I say this all the time. In my opinion, and I'm right, if you have a heating or air conditioning issue, if you're not calling Veterans Air Mechanical, you're just cheating yourself. It's just the way it is, because they're going to give you the straight scoop. They're not trying to upsell you and build up everything. If they can fix it, they fix it. If they can't fix it, they tell you. If it needs to be replaced, they'll tell you. But you know that it's going to be honest. That's what I love about it.
Thank you.
So, ToniJean, we've had all kinds of weather this year. We've had hot. Of course, we might have even had all kinds of weather in October. We can't say it for November because it's only the 3rd. But we've had hot, we've had cold, we've had rain, we've had wind. So when it comes to that, I need to know how often do I need to be replacing my air filters?
1 to 3 months. It just depends on how much you use your unit. Some people leave it on 24/7s. I mean, it just depends. I mean, and if you got indoor pets that shed, you should be really checking your filters. And what I always tell people is take out the filter and put a date on it when you change it out. And that kind of gives you a reminder, and always have extra filters at home so you can do it yourself.
Okay, so even as long as I've known you, Toni, I've struck out on both. So I do change my filters. I don't have any extras laying around, and I didn't date it.
Okay, you got to do it.
But we use our air conditioner a lot because I'm oversized and I like the house cool, and I've got a dog and she likes to shed. So I guess I'm in trouble. So I guess right after the program, Josh, it'll be Amazon for me.
Yeah, you got to check, because when you have indoor pets that shed, it gets into your coil and it'll get into your vents, and you'll get dog hair in there. So if you're not getting good airflow, you got to check that out. And
well, I've got a little trick that I don't even know. This was actually brought to me by a friend of mine who is a broker of cars, and he also used to sell motorhomes. So I keep a very large bowl of hydrogen peroxide right by the intake on my thermostat, not my thermostat, but my furnace.
Okay.
So I'm always pulling that a little, it pulls in from that hydrogen peroxide. So it gives a good smell to the house as well.
Interesting.
But, because they do that to get the smoke smell out of vehicles.
Oh, okay.
So I throw my 2 cents in.
I just learned something new.
So, okay. Now, we're coming into the supposed cold season. Again, we're in California, so I don't know if we ever get cold. But if my heating system's blowing cold air, what's my problem? I got a lot of problems, but.
Yeah. So if you're heating, if it's blowing cold air, maybe it's your pilot, could be your light. You might have a pilot issue. Maybe it's a thermostat problem, and you might just maybe having a malfunctioning furnace unit. And it all depends, like how old it is. Your components may be bad. So again, that's where you want to call somebody and say, this is what's going on. And if I can't troubleshoot over the phone, then yeah, you're going to have to get somebody out there.
So the first step, obviously, then based on what you told us in the last segment, is check those batteries.
Yep.
And check the filter.
Mm-hmm.
And then make the phone call to Veterans Air Mechanical.
Yes.
Okay. And will that save me some money too, Toni?
Yeah, it saves you money when you can do it yourself. It really will save you that. And that's what we try to do. We really want to help you save money. And the calls that I get are the simplest things that you seriously can do on your own. And so if I can do that for you, then it's going to save you money. And then if we end up having to come out, then we have to come out. But we still save you money regardless, because like you said, Victor will do everything he can to try to repair before he replaces. And, we offer promotions to our veterans, active military, first responders, and senior citizens. So we're always looking to save you money, always.
Yeah, and something, I love that, because I know that's definitely, I've heard that so many times. But what I was really getting to is another Veteran Air Mechanical fan. Rita's listening to us today.
Hi, Rita.
Okay, so I understand that part, that I know you're always going to try and save us, but I'm curious, if my filters are clogged, am I spending extra money on gas and electric too?
You can't. Yes, of course. Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely. Because your system is working way too hard and it's not giving the proper airflow that you're supposed to be getting. And yeah, you will get a higher bill. If you go, why am I getting a higher bill? Check your filters. Definitely check.
Okay. So maintenance, now being that I'm a contrarian, that's part of my job. So, when you're always looking for the market to go the opposite direction, which helps our mortgage people, bad economy, mortgage rates go down, good economy, mortgage rates go up. So I'm kind of in the contrary world. So I look at it and say, does it matter if I have my air conditioner serviced in the winter and my heater serviced in the summer? Does that really even matter?
It kind of does matter. I mean, that's why they're called seasonals. You want to do your AC in the spring and then you want to do your furnace in the fall, because lots of times the temperature readings are not right for either one. If it's too cold and Victor can't check out the temperature readings on it, and if it's too hot, if he's not able to do that, and if you try to do all of it at once, it always depends on the temperature. Oh, we get a lot of calls saying, can you just do it all in one shot? And we always tell people, depending on the weather, whether it's for your AC or your furnace, whether it's fall or spring, will determine if we're able to do both. Just depends on the weather temperature.
Okay, so now I know the answer to this, but maybe some of our listeners don't. Who's Victor?
Oh, he's the magical that happens behind the scenes.
Okay.
Victor is the owner of Veteran Air Mechanical. That's my husband. Yes.
And we're very lucky that Victor is not the face of the company that you are. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, at ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I talk a lot, and when that happens, well, I don't have a lot of time for some of our touts that we do, but I will tell you the Borrow Smart segment is brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com, and now let's continue our conversation. With ToniJean Munoz, veteran air mechanical, we're chatting as we start off our week of honoring veterans and veteran-owned businesses and veteran nonprofit organizations. So we kind of hit all of them this week as we head into, obviously, Veterans Day next week. We celebrate the veterans every day, though.
That's right.
And I love it, Tony, because you've actually, you guys go one step beyond what we do. I mean, we have our heroes where our lending team gives a discount or credit on their lending statement for all of the veterans, active, retired, reserves, Coast Guard, you name it, we do it.
That's
and our
right.
first responders, our teachers, our nurses. We haven't got into senior citizens yet, but we might do that, especially as I'm getting old, Tony. I like that. I like that one. I might have to add that in there. But we're going to talk a little bit about some more about learning about keeping cool. Let's see. So let's see what else we want to talk about here. Strange noises. Now, we're not talking, well, I'm not going to even say Mindy's name right now because that'll get me in serious trouble. But if my air conditioning unit is making strange noises, rattling, banging, my neighbors does all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on?
Well, if you hear any of those noises, you might have loose components, maybe worn belts, or you're having a failed motor. So again, those are like, when you have things like that you can't do, you just got to call and we can come out and do an inspection as to why you have all those issues. And because you want to make sure when you start hearing that it doesn't become a bigger issue. So don't ignore those noises because it could be something serious, or it could be really nothing. Sometimes too, when people don't insert the right filter size, some people just go and they'll just shove it in. It will break up your filter. It'll start making noises too. So make sure you're always putting in a proper filter.
Proper filter, and if you've got a screw loose, you got to get help.
Yep.
Okay, so there's our takeaway from that one. How do I know if my system needs repair or replacement? That's a scary one.
Yeah, that one. When you're thinking about if you think you need a new one, or I've seen units where they've had them more than 20 years. And if it's still working, it's still working. And the way it still works, and these older models are actually a lot better than these newer ones, is just take care of it. Do the proper maintenance, do what you're supposed to be doing, and do the things you can do yourself to keep it running. That's all it takes.
So, we've talked a little bit about that. Do you guys have a program for doing just regular maintenance every 6 months or whatever it is, or is it just making a phone call?
No, it's either you make a phone call, but with our database, with all the customers we have, we send out reminders right before spring and right before fall to say that it's time for you to have your maintenance done.
Time. And what do I need to know when I'm calling?
You just need to know that, hey, I always tell people, and people always wait till the last minute, is spring is coming. And so, calendar it, remind yourself, give us a call before spring, because what happens is people call us when it's the hottest time of the year and it's busy. It's busy. And of course, when an AC breaks down, they want you there like right now and then. and we can't get to you. So I always just tell people, call us before springtime. So when you turn on your AC, always turn on your AC before it starts getting hot, and make sure it's running. And if it's not running, then you got to give us a call. And sometimes if your AC is running and it's working, there's no need to give us a call. It works, but if you just want to get the tune-up that you want to get it because that's what you want to get, then yeah, call us. But no, just turn on your units, turn it on before the spring and turn it on before the fall to make sure it's working properly.
And can you tune up any unit, or do I have to call with the name of my unit, or what how does that work?
No, we can do pretty much any brand. What we can't do the repair zone, we don't work on Train. That's one unit we don't work on, is Train or Daikin. I always say they're their own special breed. They have their own specialty technicians that do that, but we can do maintenance on them. We just can't do the repairs on them because they have their own products. They use their own, yeah.
Now, a lot of times we see, I know my car will leak water when I've been running the air conditioner a long time. What about my home unit? Is that a no-no?
Okay, yeah, you got to pay attention to that. So if you're having, like, if you see water leaking or anything like that, that could be maybe you have a clogged condensation drain, maybe you have frozen coils, or maybe you have a refrigerant leak. So pay attention to those when you see water leaking. Yeah, don't ignore it.
Okay, so no leaky water. And now let's talk a little bit about, because we like to save money. I am cheap. Maybe I'm not cheap. Maybe I'm thrifty. Ideal setting for the thermostat, because I know that I probably turn mine around a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I've tried to go 76 in the winter and 68 in the summer. Am I backwards?
Yes, you are. But the funny thing is, owning an HVAC company, I'm always messing with my thermostat because I'm hot and cold. So Victor always says it should be like at 68 in the winter and 76 in the summer. But I cheat and I put mine at 72. So I'm
now it's easy because I got the thermostats on my phone, so I can always go in there and just change it. So if I'm out of town, I change it to like 90. My son kills me. But if I'm in town, it's 68. My wife kills me. So either way, I'm dead.
Yeah,
I'm in trouble. So Victor and Tony are upfront and honest. Other companies will try to, I think that means upcharge and scam you, but not Veterinary Mechanical. And something that's been I've had so many people tell us that exact same thing. So that's why I love it. Now we only have about a minute left. I want to give us just a second on your event. Tell us a little bit more about that and how you're honoring our veterans.
Like I said, it's this Saturday, November 8th, and we're part of the American Legion Post in Orange, 132, and they've been so kind enough to where they donated their ballroom for our event because we outgrew the parking lot of the one we had in Yorba Linda for Keller Williams. So now we're at the American Legion Post in Orange to have our event. So I'm very excited, and it's going to be in their ballroom. It's from 12 to 7. And it's a day of just honoring, celebrating our veterans. And because my husband's a Marine veteran, of course, we do the Marine Corps birthday celebration as well. So it's an amazing event. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, if you've never been to their event, it's great. And if you've never seen a Marine Corps celebration, if you have blood in your veins, it'll give you the chills. If you don't have any blood in your veins, then you might not get the chills from it because it is very, very methodical. It's very, everything has a specific set meaning, the whole 9 yards. So it's
everything. It's come a long way, and it could not have been successful as it is the way it is now with so many people. We got so many volunteers. We have so many people that have come to reach out to us that want to be a part of it. So we're so grateful to all of them. It's because of the people that want to be a part of it that has made it this long for 5 years. So yeah.
And it is as we've said before, it's the people that have made it, but the reason for it is the most important part, and that's the honoring of our the men and women who have served, because we couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for them having kept us safe and free for all these years. So 250 years. So
I know, right? And we have
amazing.
250 guests coming, Ron. So you got to stop by.
You know something? I'm going to try to. We got a lot going on, but we're going to try and stop there and squeeze in a little bit. So look forward to seeing you. And if you haven't take a look at that post. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money. It's going to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.